I should see us on all those platforms. Shout out to everybody who's joining us. We got a lot of people who are in the live. If you aren't following us, follow us now. Turn on notifications to always. That way you know where to find us. But also when you do it, you can also see the YouTube link will be on the page as well. And you can join us on YouTube and get a different view, a bigger view of the room and the live and what we got going on. But is change good? And you know, nobody better than Mari to join us today because Mari is fresh to the ATL, you know what I'm saying, straight out of, I don't know if I want to say Ohio and Michigan or but the Midwest, but more your formidable years were in Ohio.
Yes, because I spent elementary and high school in Ohio, and then just Michigan was just middle school.
Okay, so what would be something that somebody from out of state would say? You know, what did you learn in Toledo that you carry with you everywhere you go now?
I don't know. It ain't much to learn up there.
What? What? Toledo popping. What? Y'all got gang signs or anything like that? Y'all got a symbol how y'all throw up with y'all Toledo?
Whatever you just did was not it. But
Toledo in the building.
I mean, like each side, like north, south, east, west, they got their own little thing. So
what side was you
on? I was born on the north and then I grew up on the west.
Say it one more time.
I was born on the north and then I grew up on the west.
That sounds like a verse in a rap joint. Say it one more time. What up, retired police? What up, Lawrence? Say it one more time. I was born on the north but raised on the.
I was born on the north but I was raised on the west.
I was born on the north but I was raised on the west. Came through flexing with my chest. Yes, I be blessed. Then you know how we do it. I spit rhymes because it ain't nothing to it. What? Really?
Yeah, no, that wasn't it for me. I'm sorry.
That's messed up. First Ward, you ever heard of that?
I don't think I have.
First Ward, is that in Toledo, Angie? Angie's joining us on our live on TikTok, and she said First Ward. Lauren said better than me. How many of you guys, you know what I'm saying, like the when it comes to change, right? And by the way, hopefully some of y'all have got your apple cider vinegar drink ready. Mine is ready to go. So for those of you who have made and are making your drinks, let me know, and we'll hit it at the same time. Also, if you guys want a better view, make sure you get over to the YouTube channel, which is the same Dwight_Scrap_Reynolds, so you guys can join the YouTube and make sure you're subscribed over there. But change for a lot of people are stubborn about making those adjustments, about changing. You know what I mean? It's hard for people to let go of some of the things that they've done all this time. That's dope. Lawrence said he drank his. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man. Because we understand consistency is the key. Now, when we talk about consistency and we talk about change, you know, people tend to are wanting to be fixated on the consistency, but not understanding that even with consistency, you have to make some adjustments. You agree?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's the point of, you know, of learning as you grow. You know what I'm saying? And people are stubborn and they're stubborn and they get stuck. And when it comes to changing, you got to be fluid. But it's so crazy. The duality of it is you have to be solid, but you have to be fluid enough to move, and you got to know when to do both. Because some people stand on the wrong thing. You got anybody in your family that's stubborn?
My whole dad's side.
She said a whole side of the family. The whole dad's side stubborn?
Yeah.
Like, give me an example. Like, what is something that you like, I wish they wasn't so stubborn about?
I don't know. Literally everything that they do.
That's crazy. I imagine it's hard to communicate with them because they stuck in their way.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
Uh-oh. And that's for another show, ladies and gentlemen. Why Mari don't talk to her daddy side. And I would assume your mom's side is a little more flexible.
Yeah, but that side of the family is a lot smaller too, so it's a little different. My granny on my dad's side had 8 kids.
Ooh, somebody was getting it in.
So yeah, there's that and their kids and, you know, everybody else. So that side's a lot bigger too.
So would you say it's harder to change, you know, a larger group of people's minds and mindset than it is, you know, a smaller group?
Yes.
Retired said his mother's side is retired is your mother's side the good side or the challenging side? What side of the family do y'all get along with better, y'all? Talk to me. I would say I don't know if my mom's side is a little more stubborn. No, they just kind of flex. Retired said that they're the challenging side. I like that. I like that choice of word. Global said both. That's me too. I kind of get along on both sides of the family. There's really not any craziness or animosity. Everybody's kind of flexible, and I think it's when you've gone through a lot. Has your father's side gone through a lot? Like, have they gone through a lot of stuff, or are they pretty chill, or things cool, or what?
I mean, yeah, a lot has happened on that side for sure.
Well, usually when you've experienced a lot, you're a little more flexible to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, change is not such a hard thing. What up, Letitia? What up, Jeremy? Yeah, like Jeremy on YouTube says, "Be water." That is a very famous Bruce Lee quote. He says, "Be like water. When you are trying to do what you are trying to do in this world, you must be like water." And that's the biggest thing that if I gave y'all advice, it would be just be chill. You know what I'm saying? Just be fluid, because everything is evolving, and a lot of people get stuck. They get comfortable. And I think that, when you guys join this live and we talk, that you guys get the sense that I'm always pushing, and I am. I'm not only pushing you in the direction that you should go to be consistent, but also to not get so stuck, because the idea is there are some things that we should hold on to. Will you agree?
Yes.
Like, what are some things that over the past few years that you've seen? I'll give you an example. In the past few years, there's been some things that I've seen people adjust that they probably should have held on to. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the way that we interact with one another. Since bringing iPhones into our lives, we don't communicate in person as much. Like, we don't really interact, and we go off emojis and all these different things. Versus how you had to actually be in somebody's face every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like one of my pet peeves, is that people would rather text and expect you to know how they feel off of the text versus just picking up the phone and say, "Hey man, what's going on?" Oh man, I see by the look on your face, you're a texter who does that. Oh my God.
No, it just came to mind that, like, I use periods when I have an attitude.
That's funny. And so the person that you're responding to is supposed to know that you got an attitude because of, wait, do you make the period bigger, or is the period smaller? What is it?
No, like, I only use a period in my text when I'm irritated.
Wow.
Or like I have an attitude or something. And like, I either tell them like firsthand, like, this is what that means, or they figure it out. Because it's also like the way I make the sentence too, that they figure it out and they're like, oh.
See, that's a lot of work.
But that period just looks so aggressive. Like, why you gotta end the sentence like that?
I mean, you're supposed to end it with some punctuation. Some kind of punctuation. Why wouldn't you use an exclamation point if you felt some kind of rah-rah about it?
I mean, I don't know, like texting wise, you don't always use a period unless you're being like formal, like you're talking to your boss or, someone you don't really know. But when you're talking to your friends, you'd be like WWYDXTT.
Oh my God.
You're not gonna put a period after that. Usually. Some people do, but
we just go with initials the whole time.
Yeah.
Acronyms. That's what we rocking with. Jeremy says, "Be like water." Okay. So if somebody, listen, so anybody out there, if you get a text from Mari, you get a text from Mari and it got periods in it, y'all having an issue. Good morning, Mimi. And Arch wants to know, how do you avoid an entire side of your family? How is that possible?
You moved to Atlanta?
That's one way. That's one way to do it. So how have you been enjoying your change moving from Toledo? So for those that don't know, Toledo is like Flint in terms of a small city where everybody practically knows everybody, and the energy it's a Midwest energy. You know what I'm saying? Most people, it's pretty chill, and most people who are born there are comfortable staying there, right? That's the little city mentality that they're actually somebody in the city, so they don't mind staying there and riding it out. So coming to a place like Atlanta's huge in comparison.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying your choices were all the major cities, basically Dallas, L.A., New York, Chi-Town, and Naptown. You know what I'm saying? Did you visit all those places?
Yeah. I've been a lot of places since November. Well, past year now, I guess technically.
So what was the difference in each of them in their appeal that you liked, and then what made you ultimately settle on Atlanta?
Well, I had a horrible experience in LA. That was just garbage. So
Okay, wait. Don't listen. You can't just drive over these things. Like, so LA, like most people like LA, you know what I'm saying? It's a cool vibe, you know what I'm saying? All the energy is usually positive. What went wrong in LA?
Well, first I got roofied in the club.
Roofied in the club.
Yeah.
She just giving me all kind of song titles, I swear to you. I got roofied in the club. Roofied in the club. I was trying to have some fun, but roofied in the Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't mean to make light of that. That is horrible. Like what? So give me an example. You out with friends or you just out? Cause you seem like you roll dolo a lot.
I mean, yeah, because I'm very particular. Like, if we get in an argument, that's the end of everything.
What do you mean?
Like, like most friends, they get past arguments. If we argue, we're not friends anymore.
Wow. What's your sign?
A Virgo.
That's so you just had a birthday in August or something?
September 12th.
September 12th. Woo. She said if it's done, then it's done.
I mean, cause like, I don't know, just arguments and like people get mad and them saying things when they're mad. It's like, it's the truth. They're gonna be like, oh, I didn't mean it, da da da. Or like, I don't know, just a lot of people be like hating and stuff. So when stuff like that happens, I'm just really quick to just back up and lose all interest.
No, I can see that. Like, unfortunately, disingenuous people will save their conversation for anger. And then while they're angry, they say stuff that they always meant, stuff that they have been holding back or whatnot. And then kind of, say that nonsense in the heat of the moment. I'm not one of those people. It's for some people, it's liquid courage. Have you ever seen that? You know what I mean by that? Yeah, when people get drunk or they get faded, next thing you know, I had a few friends like that, and I would get them faded just to hear it, just to hear where they was at.
I don't know what roofied is.
Yeah, what's roofied?
So I don't know really. Like, I don't know it by that. Like, I don't know how to explain that term perfectly, but it's just like getting drugged, really. So
like roofied is like somebody putting Lawrence. It's like somebody putting something in your drink. Is the typical way that you hear about people being roofied. It's when someone has, I don't know what they would put in it. Like I don't know any of that kind of stuff because I'm not into that lifestyle.
Yeah, okay.
And it's never happened to me before. You know what I'm saying? Most times it's from dudes that are looking to do something disingenuous to a woman. Like I've never really heard of dudes getting roofied. I don't know if anybody's heard of a dude getting roofied. That'd be interesting.
Oh, it's definitely happened. They're just embarrassed to speak on it.
I don't know if a dude would complain about getting roofied from a chick, especially if she's fine and shit.
But if you're roofied by another man.
Oh, yeah.
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 Or maybe.
No buenos.
Maybe like, some bugly woman.
Ugh. Bugly. New term. What's bugly? You're going to have to educate our audience because bugly, my first time hearing it. I get it. I think I know what it means, but I think I know what it means. But bugly. Anybody want to give a guess what bugly means before we answer? Anybody got a guess on what they think bugly means? Yeah, I know, Lawrence. Listen, man, a dude try to roofie you, or you get roofied by a dude and you wake up and you strapped to a bed and some dude. Oh man, bugly. Bugly is the word, y'all. Let me know if any of y'all know what the word bugly means. Do any of y'all know what the word bugly means? And I need a real answer. I don't want to hear. I need real answers. Anybody, check it. Look at your chat. See if anybody knows what bugly means. Bugly. All right. And you tell me if this is right. Bugly as a term for unattractive people, I'm sure. And bugly would mean butt ugly. No?
Some more guesses.
So not butt ugly. Big and ugly?
Yeah. I've said it since I was in high school.
My brother knew that. My older brother knew that. My older brother said big ugly.
Yep.
I've never heard that term before, Greg. Big ugly? Bugly? I've never heard that term before. Has anybody else heard that term before? Anybody? Am I new? Am I missing the mark? Bugly.
They probably be saying it behind your back, and that's why you don't know what it
Well,
means.
they ain't talking about me with it. You know what I'm saying? I have never been bugly in my life. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Neither have I, Lawrence. I've never heard that before in my life. But that's a new term. So you're out in LA. How long are you out on? How long is this trip supposed to be?
I was in LA for like 3 or 4 days, and then Sacramento for 3 or 4 days.
So did this happen in LA or Sacramento?
LA.
Okay, so you in LA, you go out to a club. You with friends or you like how you rocking?
Okay, well, for one, I was out there for a fashion show.
Okay,
Yeah, so
living the life.
yeah, first time out in LA, first big show over there. So I was living life. Show was done, it was great, and then we go out, and I'm with some people from the show, and then some friends of mine.
So it's kind of a random group.
Yeah, and actually, it's really funny because one of the designers there that I met, he lives here.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
So did y'all get a chance to link back up? Y'all got some big plans?
I mean, we haven't really been talking about that much, but we're still cool for sure.
All right, that's cool. So y'all hit the club, and how do you know? At what point does this thing go, roofie?
So, I'm in there living life, got in for free and everything. Da 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 da.
I get in all the clubs for free. I'll never pay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. That's because he works security. Okay.
That's a good one. She got jokes.
Always.
Go ahead.
They seem to like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, so I'm standing in the circle with my friends, and then I don't know, something just comes over me, and I start walking back to the bar because I felt like I needed to like sit down, hold on to something. I go to grab the table, dropped.
So you had a drink, I'm assuming. Take it to the head or whatever. Now, that's another question. Did you take it to the head or was you sipping on this? How did this, you know what I'm saying?
A little of both. Like, I didn't drink it super fast, but I didn't drink it super slow.
But it was finished nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drank this whole drink, and then how long after you finished the drink? Was it right after, or did it take a few minutes, or?
It was probably like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so some time go by, and then you're like, yo, something's not right.
Yeah, and like I couldn't speak. I'm just on the ground. Nobody's acknowledging me. Middle of the club. Can't talk. My friend finally comes over to me, takes me to the bathroom, threw up.
Wow.
And then I just remember her like walking me back to her car down the street, and she bought me some ice cream on the way. And yeah.
And then you passed out, or you did you get a chance to sleep, or you slept it off, or?
Yeah, she took me back to my little hotel thing, and then I blacked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So LA's LA's a bust, so to speak.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to go to San Francisco right after that, or did you go before?
Sacramento was after it.
Sacramento, okay.
Yep.
So how did you approach Sacramento after that?
Well, yeah. Outside of the club, the whole LA experience wasn't all that. Like, I did the Walk of Fame and all the other stuff. Didn't really love it. Didn't love the energy, the food, the people, nothing. Like, wasn't really loving nothing down there. Went to the beach one time. It was cold.
Venice?
And cloudy.
You did the walk. You went to Venice or
whichever one has like a little Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I think that's Venice.
Well, yeah. So just everything about it was crappy. And then go to Sacramento a day or two after that. And I didn't really do much there either. I don't know why. I take trips and don't really do anything. I might have a problem. But yeah, it was a cool little trip. It was nice out there, but
okay. Sacramento better though, right? Santa Monica. She said the Santa Monica Pier is where you went. Life Good with IG said that the Ferris wheel must be in Santa Monica.
that might have been it.
Yeah. They had a pier, Santa Monica Pier, all that kind of stuff where you could look out.
Yeah, it was like a little dock or like a big dock,
Yeah,
I guess you
yeah.
could say. And then they had like a whole bunch of little games and stuff.
That's Santa Monica. Life was Good. I've been to LA a few times. I've been to Venice Beach a couple times. I didn't know. I've been to Santa Monica Pier, but I didn't really pay attention like that. But that's dope. Yeah, she said, "Yep, Santa Monica." Okay, cool. So you get up out of there after checking out a couple things, and then you get to Sacramento. How was Sacramento?
We just answered that.
No. I mean, as far as did you go out or anything in Sacramento?
Oh, no.
So you was done. You was.
No, I don't go out like that much anyways. I was kind of just going out to celebrate the show and, hang out with my friends and everything while I was down there. So
both of those were show spots. You did a show in LA, show in Sacramento?
No, just in LA.
Okay.
I was just going to Sacramento because I knew some people out there.
Okay, cool. So that's a bust. What about Chi-Town?
I went to Chicago a couple of times.
What up, Red?
I went in November and January. I had a good time both times.
You went in the winter?
Yeah.
Oh man, so you was packed. So that's another thing. Being from the Midwest, so you had your big coat, your big jacket.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm used to the snow, so I'm tough. But
She said, I'm tough.
Yeah, you see these big muscles over here. But
that's
Wow.
wait. Where we at?
Yeah. Now
Show the muscle again. Give him that one more time.
It is. Let's see yours then.
Hey man, we don't want to see these guns. I put these guns out. You don't want to see the difference, you know what I'm saying? The guns, you know what I'm talking about. Woo!
You're gonna learn today. All right.
So Chicago in the winter, man. Anybody from Chicago out there? Any of our listeners from Chicago? I've been to Chicago before. I'm from Michigan. So when we talk about cold, let me help you understand. Chicago has a whole nother thermostat that deals with the kind of cold Chicago got. My jackets, listen, when that wind kick in off of what's that? Is that Lake Michigan? No, Lake Michigan, right? Lake Erie?
I thought that was, isn't it Superior?
It might be Lake Superior. One of the Great Lakes. When that cold air plus that it all comes, Silver State from Milwaukee. I know you know. When that air hit, ain't no jacket that can save you, man. You're gonna have to have on a couple shirts, a jacket, a hoodie, and a real big coat. I got a coat I think can handle it right now, but shoot, that stuff go through you like you butt naked out there in Chicago. I've been to Chicago a few times, man, and that winter is no joke. You ever had your nose hairs stick together?
I don't got that many nose hairs, so no.
Okay, yeah. Let me just tell you, when it's cold out there, I don't know how you survived it. You went back to back, like different months. What you was trying to see how cold it could really get?
Actually, it was not that cold both times because it wasn't that rough of a winter this past winter. And then November, I went because I was going to a Shorty concert. And I drove from Toledo to Chicago both times.
Shorty, the comedian?
No, he's a rapper.
Oh, so you mean Shorty like Shorty, Shorty? No,
Shordie.
Oh, Shorty. I've not heard of him. I have heard of the comedian Shouty. What my name is? You heard him?
No, sir.
Yeah, he's a big comedian. He was on Wild 'N Out for a few seasons. He's from Atlanta. I did a movie with him. What my name is? You know. Anyway, he's on the radio every morning with Young Jock too. Okay. So eventually you'll run into him and I'll be like, yo, she don't know who you are.
We'll see.
I'll be like, she don't know who you are, Shorty. It's all good though.
But see, he gonna know who I am though.
Boom, drop the mic on that. She said he gonna know who she is. Go ahead. So here's the thing. You're in Chicago. It's cold. What's going on in Chicago? You're going to a concert in Chicago.
Yep, I went to a concert and then I really just did some sightseeing and everything because I haven't been to Chicago since like 2011 maybe.
Wow.
It's been a while.
All right. Did you the pizza, popcorn, anything?
I'm not really big on Chicago pizza or New York, honestly.
She said neither Chicago or New York. Going down in flames. Come on now.
Put some respect on my name. Bruh.
I mean, just saying. Usually people like one or the other. She don't like Chicago or New York pizza. Man, let me find out your taste buds is not functioning correctly.
No, I mean like I'm not a big fan of red sauces. So like spaghetti, pizza, breadsticks, and marinara, like I don't eat a lot of that often. Like when I get pizza, I get barbecue chicken usually. So
barbecue chicken pizza.
Yes, sir.
And where do you get your pizza from now?
I used to get it from Marco's because I love their breadsticks. So.
It's some Marco's here, right?
Yes. I was so happy about
You found it? It's off of Ponce, right? It's downtown.
There's one over by Sweet Apple too.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Marco's Pizza in the building with the barbecue pizza with the limited red sauce that she likes. So whenever you go to Chicago, for everybody else, Giordano's Pizza, off the chain. I did a video. I got it somewhere. I don't know if it's posted on my YouTube or if it's posted somewhere else. But Giordano's Pizza. I used to be a fiend for their popcorn. Have you had the Chicago? The popcorn in Chicago?
There was no popcorn taken by me.
Oh man, you tripping. I don't know what your trip was really about. Because if you don't get the popcorn while you're in Atlanta, listen, I used to ship the popcorn every year. This time of year, I get the big can, and it have buttered popcorn, it have cheese, and it have caramel. And I used to get a side of the white cheese on it too, man. I'm gonna need y'all to, if y'all, excuse me, you can order your popcorn as well. So you can order that popcorn from the Popcorn Factory is where I get it from. But Garrett's popcorn, you not heard of none of this stuff? Any of my Chi-Town people on our live that have been to Chicago? Yeah, Garrett's. Rachel just said it right there. Garrett's is a staple. You know what I'm saying? They're really, really known for their popcorn. I'm sorry that you went there and didn't indulge in either of the Chi-Town delicacies.
I mean, I've had one of them popcorn tins before. I just don't know if it came from Chicago or not.
Man,
and
you know if you had Chicago popcorn.
I still ate while I was out there. I ate at some different places. Because, like, one thing, when I do travel places, I like to eat at places I've never heard of or seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't here to see neither of those.
No, so those are really, really huge staples. And, you know, I guess you kind of saying like you have like a foodie element to you.
Tad bit, yeah.
You're a foodie to some degree, except for red sauces and really good pizza. Anyway, so yeah, I do the same thing when I go different places. Did you get Roscoe's while you was out in LA? Roscoe's is a staple. Like everybody goes to the Roscoe's on McGowan when you're out in LA. They do Nobu. Did you do Nobu while you was out there? They do what's the steakhouse, y'all, that's on not Sunset, on the steakhouse in California. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. I don't eat red meat anymore, but the one time I did try, like the one time I knew if I was ever gonna do red meat, that it was gonna be at this place. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was ever going to do red meat, that I was like, yo, if I'm gonna be sick, it's gonna be because I ate this really good steak.
And you're mad at me for not liking red sauce, but you don't eat red meat?
No, I don't eat red meat. I don't eat red meat. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that to my body, man. I gotta do something a little bit different. So yeah, if anybody ever wants to buy dinner or something like that, listen, seafood, chicken, fish, and turkey, those things are awesome. You know what I'm saying? No pork, no red meat, off the list for me. Clearly you eat everything. Jeez.
I don't drink caffeine. I don't drink pop. I don't really eat fast food. I don't really eat junk food. I rarely eat meat, honestly. Like, it's really hard for me to buy and cook meat. A steak, once in a while, I definitely love getting and cooking steak because my steak is great. But, yeah. If I go to a restaurant, it's a little different. I don't have a problem, like, getting a burger or chicken, whatever. But, like, at home, it's not really something I care for.
Wait, Letitia says the airport. Oh, my God. Got to get it from the airport. What are we talking about? The popcorn or are we talking about the pizza? She said, I don't even mind trash from the popcorn in my mouth. That's hilarious. Okay, so there we get rid of, okay, so we don't eat the delicacies there. You do, did you go to the Nike store while you were there? Did you go to the Michael Jordan Memorial? None of that? The Bean? Did you go to the Bean? Okay, yo, she went to the Bean, y'all. Let's give it up. She went to the Bean. She went to the Bean. Like there are certain things you got to do when you're in Chicago, especially if you're going to be on some visitor stuff.
I mean, well, I did work with a brand while I was out there, and then I went to the concert, and then I did do some sightseeing. Like, I walked around downtown. I've been to the Bean twice. I went to the little Navy Pier.
Yep.
Yeah, something else, but I can't remember.
Those are cool. Okay, you knocked down a couple things. Got to work on the foodie thing, but you worked out. The other things is definitely like staples. The Navy, yep. You got to do that. The museum, did you do the museum?
The little like the glass boxes.
The glass boxes in Chi-Town. Anybody? What are the glass boxes? I don't know what that is. Letitia, what's the glass boxes in Chicago?
I mean, it might not have been in Chicago. I don't know.
Oh my God! Now she don't remember where it was at. Come on. You can't say. It's like you might as well said anything for that minute. The pyramids of
Yeah, seen
the
how much you
coin
were up
drop.
on
You
it.
got? Have you guys seen the coin drop? Where is that at? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we get nothing. We get nothing. For you to bring up boxes that you don't even know was in Chicago.
It don't make no motherfucking sense.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they were, but it's like it's a skyscraper, right? And at the top,
Oh,
you go out.
yeah,
into
no, that's different. Everybody goes out to the that's the Empire State Building. No, not the Empire State Building. That's the Sears Tower. Is that it, y'all? It's the Sears Tower, right? It's
Exactly.
with the lookout point.
Exactly.
No, but you said the boxes.
Yeah,
Them ain't
it's
no
a
boxes.
box.
Them is not no boxes. That's a clear floor.
It's a box out of the
Out of the clear
tower.
floor. Is that what that is?
like.
So yeah, did y'all hear that? So yeah, it is the that is the lookout point. Everybody goes up there to look out to see to see what's going on, to look out and stand out there. It's really nerve-wracking. I got pictures of doing that as well. So you knocked off a couple of things, that was a couple good things to do in Chicago. So now let's go to the other major let's go to two of the smaller hubs, right? You said Dallas?
Yes.
How was Dallas for you?
Well, my mom lives in Dallas, so that was the main reason I went out there.
Mm.
But she took me to do a couple little things out there, but we didn't do too much.
Dallas has grown. I mean, so have you been out there off and on before, or?
No, that was my first time.
Yeah,
she just moved out there.
Oh, okay, dope. Now Dallas has really, really picked up. I really like Dallas. I don't know if I would live there because Dallas is like the midway point between an Atlanta and a Toledo. Like it's got a little of both. You know what I'm saying? But it's got some sexy parts to it. Like I really like Dallas on some low key. It's got a vibe. It's a small vibe, but nonetheless, it's a dope vibe. I always mention this hotel. Y'all have heard me talk about it. It's called the Hotel Zaza. If you're ever in Dallas, you got to go to Hotel Zaza. You would drive past this hotel and never know it was there. It's just that discreet, but it's so fly. The rooms are amazing. The vibe and the energy, and it's really super sexy. So when you go back, I know you're gonna go back and visit your mom. You got to go back and look up this hotel called the Hotel Zaza, Zaza, and just tell them you want to see the rooms. You ain't got to stay there, but you're gonna want to stay there once you see it. The rooms are huge, they're sexy, and I had an amazing time there.
I bet you did.
I sure did, and I will go back again and again. So y'all understand I had a great time because I was with a couple really cool people that y'all are familiar with, but there was also a Playboy party going on in the hotel when I got there, and just being in the lobby would have been a thing, but they invited us in and to come kick it and stuff, so it was really turned. We'll get back to that another time, but so what about Indianapolis, man? I haven't been in Naptown in so long. I had some homeboys who lived in Muncie, and a couple in Gary or whatnot. I played ball with some dudes who lived in Muncie.
I mean, I didn't really do much when I was out there. I just went out there to see what it looked like and to look at apartments. So it wasn't bad. I felt cool moving there. It was just somewhere to move, honestly.
Was there anything that in particular that took you to Indianapolis, or?
No, it was just somewhere still close to Toledo that was still bigger, though.
And no, did anybody tell you like, yo, you should check out Indianapolis, or you just like, you threw a dart at the?
Just felt like it crossed my mind. I was like, oh, why not?
Oh. You just decided Indianapolis of all places. Anyway, now the last but not least, of course, New York City. Talk to me.
With New York, I went for Fashion Week. I had a show out there as well. We drove out there, so it was like a 9-hour drive.
Sheesh, from Toledo?
Yes. So,
I'm not mad at the road trip. You like driving?
usually, sure.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a good road trip.
I don't know. I've taken a lot of them. I've driven because like I used to do a lot of work in Cleveland, Detroit, and Toledo. So there was one weekend I drove like 18 hours between Detroit, Toledo, and Cleveland just in 2 days. I've driven to New Orleans from here.
From Atlanta?
Yes.
So that's like a 10-hour drive? 9 hours?
No, I think it was like 6.
It's shorter. My fault.
5
You're
or
right.
6.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, I might be driving to Dallas because I don't feel like flying, and that's going to be like a 10-hour drive. I've driven to Charlotte from Atlanta.
6 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours?
4.
Okay.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I drove from Toledo to Chicago.
7 hours?
4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's different. Okay, yeah. It's 4 hours from Flint, too, so.
Yeah, and then the drive from Toledo down to here with that trailer in the back, since I only could do 55 miles an hour, that was
painful,
like a
right?
10, 11-hour drive.
That had to be painful.
Oh, that was horrible. Because, like, I woke up at 9 a.m., took a couple hours to find the truck, packed all my stuff in 6 hours, got done at 2 a.m., and I was like, oh, I'm going to just drive. I'm not even tired. I'm going to just start driving. Drove to Louisville, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
It hit you right after, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 hours in. 2 hours, right? 3 hours? No. So from Toledo to the border is.
It was 3 or 4.
That's 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that is Louisville, so about an hour into this. So 4 hours, yeah. I've driven that trip from here to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So surprisingly, I did it in 8 hours.
You didn't have a trailer on the back
No,
making you go 55 miles an hour.
Nah, and I didn't do the speed limit. I did about 110 or something like that.
Exactly. I like to follow the rules.
Sure you do. Anybody who drives like that, you don't drive 70 miles an hour. You probably do about 85 solid.
72 cruise control every time because my MPG is important to me.
What's your miles per gallon? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind filling up.
Well, you can fill mine up too then.
I'm just saying, as I'm rolling, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'll hit that 100, 110, catch somebody that's moving. So for me, time is more important than money.
Yes, but you're not cutting much time by going 100 compared
Girl,
to
you
72.
sound
You
crazy.
cutting off like 5 minutes.
You sound crazy.
Wow, 5 minutes early.
I'm cutting off 5 minutes going from here to the airport. We talking about hours worth of drives. I'm cutting hours out. A drive from Michigan to Atlanta is typically 10 to 12 hours.
All right, go do that drive this weekend. Let me see.
I ain't going up north. What are you, crazy?
You got nothing better to do. Go
I'm just
ahead.
saying. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I do have a prior commitment that's going to stop me from doing it. But I'm just not driving to Michigan like that either, though. You know what I'm saying? But I've done it in record time. I've done that from Florida to here as well. I rented a Kia Optima. And surprisingly enough, this car is ridiculously fast. When I say fast, a Kia Optima, it was ridiculously fast. Ridiculous. And I was gunning. It had the paddles on it and everything. It's the first time I drove a car that had the paddles on the steering wheel. And I'm talking about getting down the road. I forget what cars I was following, but it was like a group of hot-rodded cars when we was out. So now you here. And you're settling in to get things going. What's been the most exciting thing about your change? You know what I'm saying?
The opportunity that came with it.
Nice. When you say so was that opportunity here? Was that one of the things that brought you to Atlanta, or was it something that just happened once you got to Atlanta?
Both. Because I'm talking about like future opportunity. Because I know there's a lot more ahead of me here than there was up north.
Absolutely. I think that especially for people who are been in those smaller cities, when you come to a place like Atlanta, and it's probably just when you go to a major hub, but let me be more frank. When you come to Atlanta, there's an energy here that promotes possibility. Like you just feel like my dreams are going to come true here, or at least the jump off to them is going to happen. Because there's so much happening. There's so much movement going on. There's always something going on, always something to get into. A lot of the major hubs and major companies are really investing into the Atlanta area. And so you feel like you're here. You know how sometimes Atlanta's been on a wave since 2000. Like they've really been on a wave of progress, of change and adjustment, and it's still going at a point where you think like, yo, when will they stop? Atlanta's just continuously adding more logs to the fire. From the hip hop community growing to the entertainment business growing to the, some of these bigger companies bringing their businesses here. I remember General Motors, I think, has a place here now, and that was huge up north. That was one of the things that lured a lot of our parents up north, was working for General Motors and Ford and different car companies, and to have them now starting to divest to cities like Atlanta and bringing, Amazon was actually touting the idea of coming here and starting bringing one of their major hubs here. So you came at the right time. Like, I know when people be like, yo, actually Atlanta folks will tell you Atlanta is closed, please stop coming. Have you heard that yet? People will tell you in a heartbeat, don't come to Atlanta, pick somewhere else. And I think those are people who are selfish. I say, man, come to Atlanta and sort out your dreams. Chase your dreams with reckless abandonment, so you can be the success that you want to be. Anything? What's the most perfect thing outside of this podcast that you see in your future that you would want to, that you're open to?
I don't know.
What up, Alpha?
I don't know.
Okay, so clearly she's gonna be working on a vision board or something to help you focus on what it is. So like as a topic of this conversation, as far as change, is it good or bad? In your change, you should also have vision. In your change, you should know what your change should look like, right? Like, you got to have an idea of what you want. If you never have an idea, then it could come across your path and you not even really see like, yo, this is going to be something good for what I want to do.
I mean, I'm always very like positive and open. I have a rough draft, but I don't like to set things in stone because, for one, I don't know everything. I can't see everything. And then if it doesn't work out the way I want it, then I'm going to be disappointed. So like the be like water thing, I say let life flow.
I'm with that.
Let go and let life. Like, I'm just letting it be what it needs to be, and I'm just going to be here.
Okay, I'm with that. But I also, on the flip side of that, right? Every time you decide, one of the cool things I like about what you just said was that, that you have a rough outline and that you write stuff down. The cool thing about writing it down is you can write it in ink or you can write it in pencil. If you write it in pencil, it can evolve. You can just scrub it out and say, oh, I've learned something new about what it is. This dream I'm chasing, or this vision I see for myself. And then you can write down that adjustment and watch how it has evolved. You know what I'm saying? But you should have a direction that you're going in, and you should have some idea what that looks like. So who in your industry do you have a mentor?
No.
Do you have anybody who's done what you want to do at a successful time and place that you've done it? I mean, if they've done it. So like not a Tyra Banks or not a Naomi Campbell on the modeling side, like.
Nope. I mean, one person I do look up to and respect and want to be like is Zendaya, but that's pretty much it.
That's because people say you look like Zendaya, man. Go on with that.
Actually, no, it's kind of funny because that's what that first comment was.
Yeah, people say that.
Well, Zendaya and Kayla Bailan.
I don't even know who that is. The second one.
Musette. Those are two like lesser known but bigger models. Kayla is Chicago based, and then I think Musette is New York based.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to know those things though. I need you to dive into the details. Because my advice for anybody out there who's chasing a dream or trying to make a new life for themselves is having who's the ambassador for your life? Meaning, who is it that you look at to say, okay, the life path that they're on or whatever they've done, hopefully I make the same kind of progress that they make, understanding that they made some mistakes too. But if you can manage to adopt some of those things, like you gotta, like for me, when I started music, producing music, there were people like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. There were people like Teddy Riley and Babyface and all those guys that I looked at because they were staples in making consistently great decisions. What you laughing at?
I was reading her comment.
What'd it say?
Or is it her or him?
Her.
Her. Okay, I thought so. But it says, I'm like her, not setting certain things in stone to avoid disappointment. It definitely depends on what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Again, when I say foundation, it doesn't have to be a concrete foundation when you are, like when you're consistently learning. But you got to have something in place to keep you stable. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have this thing. Now, I'll be honest. What up, Andrew? I'll be honest with you. When it comes to when it came to chasing my dreams with music production, I was balls to the wall. I only had tunnel vision, but I put in my 10,000 hours. And I knew almost everything about everybody who I was looking up to. And then I also had some in-person really good mentors. Has anybody helped shape your vision away, whether they were in Toledo or other places? Did anybody say anything to you to make you be like, okay, cool, I'm on the right path?
I mean, there's a lot of like smaller people that say some like positive things. Like people message me all the time talking about like, you're pushing me with modeling and I'm learning from you.
No,
not
not
there's
those.
little stuff like that helps, but there definitely have been people that have like helped me
Oh,
learn
man.
more and change and stuff like that too.
B Alpha said he's the same way. When I try to set something up, it seems to fail. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Listen, in those instances where things don't completely work out the way you want them to, I think the things that help make that different is how much time you spend researching it, right? And failing is good. I don't want anyone to think that failing is a bad thing. Failing is one of the best ways to learn. I have a motto. I say, if you're going to fail, fail fast. Like if you're going to fail, just get it over with. Do it quickly. The quicker you fail, the faster you get to your goals. You know what I'm saying? Like similarly to what I'm saying about even with the apple cider vinegar drink, the quicker you start getting it in and through your system, your body starts changing and adjusting. That needs to happen as fast as possible so that you can see things clear. So when we talk about that, when some of the people who've been consistent on their journey with their apple cider vinegar, you guys have now opened up the opportunity to see things differently. Like you don't see things the same because your clothes fit differently, because your health is a lot better. You don't have to be concerned about certain issues because they're out of the way. It's the same thing. As you progress, as you move forward, you start to clear out the path. If you got 5 doors in front of you and you go through the door all the way to the right and you see that's not the right door, that's now you have 25% of picking the right door and going, out of the last 4. And the more doors you open and you close and find out they're not the ones, next thing you know, you got a 50% chance. So you increase your opportunity of succeeding. So I wouldn't be or feel so bad about failing when you know that failing is getting you closer. The only thing that's worse than failing is quitting. You agree?
Yes. I mean, I don't have a problem failing. It's just like if you're focused on moving forward towards one thing, you might miss other things.
Say it again.
If you're focused on moving towards one thing, like that goal, even if you can erase it, it's still that one thing you're moving towards. That may not be exactly what you're supposed to be moving towards. And so in going forward in that, you're missing that over there.
Okay. So I've kind of lived a little of both, right? And I'll explain to you what I mean. I've talked about this quote before, and Alpha, we got to get on top of that, man. Alpha said, I've been wanting to move to Texas to build my photography business for over 20 years. Bro, sometimes we just have to take the leap of faith. Sometimes you got to say, F it. I'm going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, the good thing is that you're in good health and spirit, and you always have an opportunity to adjust. That's one of the biggest and greatest qualities we have as human beings, is the ability to adapt. If you move, or when you move to Texas to build your photography business, I think that you just go and do it and start doing what you say you want to do. I don't think there should be any contemplation about it. If you're good at what you do, and you've outgrown the circumstances to where you're at, and you're synonymous with photography, then there's no way that moving and getting away from the scene that you're in. I was like I said, I was top 3, maybe top 1 producers in my city of Flint, and I had to get up out of there because I didn't want the shelf life that those producers at home was getting. And I wanted to Your fear of change cannot be stronger than your fear of failure. Your fear of change cannot be stronger than your fear of failure. You'll stay paralyzed, and and that is one of the recipes for building regret. That's Mari, you guys. She's co-hosting with me today, and maybe a little bit more often. We'll have to see what the future holds. But I wanted to introduce you guys to her. She's an up-and-coming model here in Atlanta, Georgia, who's been all over the place. You'll hear more stories about her, whatnot. But she's a perfect candidate to talk about change as she's moved to Atlanta recently and has started her journey here. But Alpha, she took the advice that I'm telling you is. She took what do I have to lose? You gotta look at it like that. What do I have to lose? I have everything to gain. I'm in a place in my life where I can accept and improve off of the failures. If something doesn't go wrong, I mean, if things don't go the way completely how she wants, the fortitude that you have to have as an entrepreneur is that you will make it work anyway. Yeah, fear leads to regret. And we all have it. There are always going to be things that we debate about doing and think about doing. And then you're either going to do like I do. I just say, F it, whatever. I just say whatever. And then what I realize is things are never as bad as I've made them out to be in my head. You ever did that? You ever thought as a kid, we did it. We was like, oh man, I'm finna get a whooping. And then you crying already. You're going through the emotions and then realize sometimes you never even get the whooping. But you've already behaved and acted like you did.
I always got the whooping. So
she said, "No, I got beat. I got beat." But what about the times? Was it ever as bad as he thought it was? Like, did you make it bigger before you got the whooping, or did you know what it was?
The whooping was always as bad as I expected it to be.
No.
Plastic spoons.
No.
Belts.
That's funny.
Hands.
That's funny. You was bad. That's why though. You can see it in your face. Look, you can't even keep a straight face. You was bad.
Maybe it was my mom. Maybe it wasn't me.
Yeah,
Can't just blame me now. I was a child.
Alpha said he's 52 and feel like I'm missing the boat. You can stop that feeling at any point. This is now not an act out of circumstance, but more out of choice. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm under the right understanding, you have the ability to transition to wherever you want to transition to. And you, at some point, bro, you gotta say, at least I tried, or at least, you know what I mean? That's the only time it's a failure is when you quit. And it sounds like it's something that you're passionate about. So one of the ways that you would transition to Texas is start posting some of your work online, and then start tagging Texas or whichever area of Texas you're trying to go to, hashtag that area so that people, models and talent in that area will be more drawn to seeing it. And then also align yourself with photographers from that area. They're easy to track down, and just start building those relationships. Take a couple trips and check out the landscape. And then once you feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure you're going to run into some people who will be worthy of spending time with, you as a photographer, who will hire you and book you. Then go and and start your transition. What's up, Teresa? Go ahead and get there. But nobody wins the game by not playing the game. And it sounds like you're just looking at everybody else do what they're doing, and you might feel regret from that. You might have FOMO, a fear of missing out. Each of those things should drive you to act. Like, at some point you have to say, my fear is going to drive me to my success. Yeah, it's never too late. And it's never too late. Like, the only time it's too late is when you're unavailable and when you're unable to do what you want to do. Right now, you sound like you're sound mind and body and capable of chasing your dream. I think you should, at some point, just got to go and figure it out. But those are the ways you can ease into it even now, is build those relationships. And as you progress with doing that, just, but some people, kind of like Mari and kind of like me, mine was like a split decision. There was I didn't have a choice to think about what I knew I was going somewhere. Like when you decided to leave, you knew you was getting out of there, right?
So it's really funny. So January, I was like, yeah, I'm for sure going to move. But I was still taking trips up to March and April. And so I didn't decide where I was going to move until May 1st, and I moved May 30th. And I packed the day of me moving. So I was like, yep, it's time. I'm ready.
The light went off and you was like, done.
Yep. I'm like, because it was either, even though like I was breaking into the acting scene in Detroit more, I really felt like I was close to capping out between Cleveland, Toledo, and Detroit.
Yeah.
And like I could have stayed for another year and, you know, went down there a little better, or went down here a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, I'm ready to go now, because I don't know, the past couple months, like they were busy, but they were slow. It wasn't what I wanted. So I went somewhere that I could get that more from.
Okay. I think that might be the best advice right there, Alpha. If you're getting what you want where you're at, then kick it. If you're not, you don't have to live an unfulfilled life. And
ironically, there's a Detroit photographer that I used to work with. He just moved to Houston, and he seems like he's doing pretty well down there. So,
so you're saying that move might be good because of opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he didn't do much down there before he moved. He just kind of moved too, and just kind of fell into it. But that just means you got to work harder once you get down there to get reestablished. And it's really not hard, especially as a photographer. You might have to, you know, lose out on some money for a little bit by collabing with people to get your name out there, but it'll all work out in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is the recipe, right? Is Alteric photo on IG. Yeah, let's check that out right quick. Alteric photo. I'm gonna get on all y'all about branding. Y'all got to start branding y'all stuff. Alteric. Did I spell that right?
Probably not.
That's funny. ALTRIC _ and then photo PH. Okay, there we go. A-Dub, I see you. I'm following you back. Oh, you in, bruh. Are you in Omaha? If you're in Omaha, you definitely gotta get to. You definitely got to get to a major hub, bro. You see, check out his work. If you're in Omaha, bro, it's time to bail. Like, it is time to, bruh. You might as well be like, yeah, I'm doing photography here in Montana. Like, it's time to go. It's time to get up out of here, bro. It's time to go. It's been time to go for quite a while. If you've been in Omaha for 20 years, bro, I'm just saying, it's time to go. Listen, Alpha, I give you permission to leave. If you have nothing holding you there, if you have nothing that's got you tied to Omaha that way, it's time to bail. What do you think? I'm put you on the spot. What do you think?
It seems like you have some good work. The only thing I would say is, because I'm like a really big perfectionist and it's something I look at when I collab with photographers and work with them. I don't know if it's just the way you're uploading them or not, but it looks like you're losing some quality on Instagram. Like, the picture overall looks nice, the editing, all that looks good, but I feel like they could be sharper. So I don't know if it's just the way you upload them or if it's something you're doing on your end, but that's the only thing I would say work on. But other than that, they look really good. Better than Omaha needs.
Yeah. It's some baddies in Omaha, though, bro. I'm going to talk to you. Well, you did some things there. You done did some things. Yeah, I would take that work and build on it outside of the community. Also, use your network. It seems like all the people that you've shot with, those are your calling cards, not only in their physical presentation, but they know people too. Like, yo, I would tell all of my clients, everyone I work with, say, hey, I'm moving to Texas or a certain, wherever you're moving to, and just say, if y'all know people there, put them up on game that I'm coming through, you know what I'm saying? And that I'll work out a 20% discount or 30% discount with anybody that they know that is referred to you. You got to parlay this stuff, man. These are just marketing techniques to get you inundated into new situations. She said one of the best things that makes the most sense is you're gonna have to give up a little something in the beginning to get something that's gonna carry you further. So you may take a backseat to some bread. Make sure anytime you're trying to transition, though, you should have a few months saved up. You know what I'm saying? So that the transition is not as hard on you financially, and that it's more of a logistic thing at that point for you to figure out where you want to be, where you're going to get the most out of your money for the, and again, nothing is set in stone to where you can't adjust once you get there. Sounds like the challenge is getting there right now. So let's get you to those places. I don't know which part of Texas. I would say a major hub. You can't go from, going from Omaha to Beaumont is the same. You know what I'm saying? You want to go from Omaha to a Austin or a Dallas or a Houston or a San Antonio. You want to go to a major hub where you can exploit your talent amongst some of those iconic places that have, not near Dallas. You need to get to Dallas. See, don't listen. I'm trying to tell you, don't play with your dream. Don't shortchange your dream that you're missing out, Omaha, to just come to some other place and play the backseat as well. If you're going to move, she went from Toledo to Atlanta. That's an upgrade. And all the places she visited, minus Indianapolis, were all places, all places where you get that upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine, like, I ain't been in Indianapolis in a minute. I can imagine Indianapolis has grown and it's kind of a whole vibe. But I would tell y'all that you want to move somewhere where you're going to be challenged to be great, where you have no choice but to be great, and that the opportunities to be great are easier to have happen. LA might be a move, yeah. LA is a little more challenging because LA, everybody out there is doing something in the visual arts, period. You know what I'm saying? Out in LA, everybody has a duality of a videographer and photographer. Out in LA, everybody's trying to, it's yes and a no. I think LA is so busy with work that you're going to have to bring an aesthetic to your shooting that isn't already available. For instance, there's a guy here. Have you ever heard of Derek Blanks?
No.
Let me show you his work. When y'all get a chance, look up this photographer named Derek Blanks. He's probably the coldest photographer in the South. And he's hard to book. LA
is tough though. Like, it's really hard to make it out there, and you really got to push when you go down there.
Look at his work.
He reminds me of a Chicago photographer that I know.
Keep looking through. He came up with a thing called, okay, well, there you go, Dallas Fort Worth. Okay, cool. I see the transition. That works.
I already knew he was going to say Fort Worth.
Yeah, everybody say Dallas Fort Worth. You know what I'm saying? The outskirts of the Fort Worth is really affordable too. So, but he came up with a thing called alter egos. Do you see any of those where it's two people in the picture and one is like their business thing and another was like a superhero and stuff like that? He came up with that. It's called alter egos, and I want to say he's trademarked it. But he does these things, and major people like Missy Elliott, Nia Long, Fantasia, SWV, you name it. He's done huge acts, and he's transitioned now into videography because he has such an eye for it. I took a couple of his photography classes as well because the way he controls light is beyond. You know what I'm saying? The way he controls light is just the most ridiculous thing. And these are, ironically, a lot of these photos are his latest. You know that's Missy, right? Yeah, you see that. He said it. But he's been doing so much work and he's not cheap. Like these, especially the alter ego joints. I mean, the alter ego joints is like, look at that. This is all one picture. That's crazy, right?
Sometimes I dislike when people post their pictures like that, but yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I think he had to in order to, because if not, he could put that in one frame, but you would be like missing out on all that.
Yeah.
This Fantasia montage is super duper ridiculous.
No, but some people do that with a selfie, and I'm like,
Yeah, they take one picture and then they spread it all out. You'd be like, man, you just waste a lot of space.
I'm not liking all 12 of these.
And it don't even get, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't get the engagement that it should get. I wouldn't say switch up his style, Mimi. I would say add something unique to his style. I would say that about everybody, though. Like, I would say anybody, I know what I brought to the table was different. When I came to Atlanta with my music production, I knew what I was bringing to the table was different than what everybody else was doing. So I just knew at that point, I just needed to expose it. You know what I mean? That's what's up. That's what we're here to do, man, is motivate and inspire. You know what I'm saying? That's always been our thing. Alpha said, thank you, too, for lighting a fire in me this morning. You know what I mean? And I do read my own way when y'all make the errors, I just correct it for y'all. I be auto-corrected. I self-auto-correct. But you have to know that you're going to bring something different to the table. I heard of this story of this actor here who's now on the TV show ATL. But he got his role. Guess how he got his role? Every time he did an audition, he'd have food he'd always be eating. Every audition, he made sure he was eating an apple or a fruit or eating. He was always eating. Even if the role didn't call for it, he was just consistent with that. And that was part of the aesthetic that people was like, yo, every time I saw him, he had this thing about him. And part of it was that he was always eating. And it played very well into every role that he did. Every actor has that. Every really dope model has this thing that they do that's kind of synonymous with them, whether it be a minute thing that only other models and model directors can see, or maybe it's something that casting agents can see when they do it. But there's always something, that is a stand apart from everybody else. For me, they told me it was my chord structure, that they liked the way I put the chords together for songs that I was doing. I remixed the Usher song very early in my career, and that was what kind of opened me up to a lot of people. But also just the way I move around in the recording studio, I pull the best out of people. Those are some of the traits that you want to bring to the table that they say, yo, when I work with Alpha and doing his photography, not only does the pictures come out well, but I had a great time shooting with him. Like, that makes a difference to you as a model, right?
Yeah.
Like what is some things that you love seeing or have happen when you go to some shoots, and then what are some things that are like, yo, I ain't coming back here?
I mean, I don't know, just how much the photographer like puts into it. Like if they have like their own visions or like helpfulness to add to what I bring or whatever. There was one photographer I worked with in Cincinnati, and we were outside, and he had this like pop-up tent for me to change in.
Oh, dope.
And I really liked that. But then like, I don't know, there's been some really like rude and creepy people I've worked with as well. So
some horror stories.
Yeah, or like people that just didn't really have it all together. Like they might as well have just come out there with their iPhone.
Wow.
And like, hey, come on, let me take some pictures.
Wow.
So yeah.
What up, Shy? What up, everybody tuning in? For those of you who are not following Mari, she got the most difficult
I don't think it's difficult.
Tell them what, you know what, I'm gonna type it in. Let me see. Type this is your, what is your joint?
Miss Simpalot. MS
yep,
dot
yep.
SIMPPALOT.
There you go. Is it 2 P's? I did that right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's her at Miss Simpalot. I would ask, but I think it's a whole nother conversation surrounding what this.
It's the light skin in me. I can't help it.
Oh my gosh. It's the light skin in me. I think it.
It is.
I ain't coming for no foolishness.
Just saying. All right.
If you don't see it, you might have to put Marissa Renee. MARISSARENAE.
Oh, they can't discover you easy, like never popped up. Oh, my text didn't pop up or what? Because I see it right there under I see green. Do you see me? I typed it under that one in the chat. Man, that's crazy.
I don't know.
Y'all should be able to see it. Huh?
Cause see, that's what it.
How we squint? Is it 1 P? No, it's 2 P's.
No, I know it's 2 P's. I just couldn't tell.
Yeah, and she live right now, so it should be easy to find it. So it's, if you go to MS dot Simpalot, SIMPPALOT. If not, you'll catch her next time she's on her. I'm following her. I don't think I'm following you.
You're not.
I'm just saying. I just got the what's the name? I'll follow you, and then they can follow. So she's typing in a different name, like her full name, to put in there.
Because that's what it says on the top of my page too.
Because that's what it says on the top of my page. That's what they say on the top of my page. That's what they say on the top of my page. Say on the top of the page. Let me see. Let me refresh too, because we froze right there. But we're not froze up there. We just froze right there. Hey, I want to welcome everybody. It's 14 minutes to the hour till 10 o'clock. It is Thursday, November 3rd. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, it is warmed up to 56 degrees. Guess what? We're going to have a high of 73 degrees today. I don't know what the temperature is where y'all are at, but shoo, it's going to be nice and toasty out here today. Still not showing, but okay, she said what it is, so hopefully you can see it that way. You know what I mean? So you can have it on there. But yeah, man, I want to motivate y'all to change, man. Alpha, hopefully you will just, don't live in hindsight. Every moment that goes by, you start, people living more in snow in Omaha. Well, okay, yeah. I have no words. When I think of Omaha, I think of Montana. When I think of Montana, I think of Utah. When I think of Utah, I think of Vermont. All places. I happen to have gone through Montana before, but it was on a bus drive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, keep us in the loop, man. But listen, more importantly, I just want to see you doing it, because you should not live your life in hindsight. You can't be afraid of change because you are afraid of the outcome. You have to believe in yourself. You got to know what you know. That has always been a motto of mine. When people get to questioning things, not only about themselves, but about others, is you have to know what you know. Meaning, you know what it is, but you allow yourself to live in self-doubt. And you go away from what you actually know. You know you're a good photographer. You know how to cultivate clients. Then if those are the only two prerequisites that matter, then you got to get out of where you are and go and do it. It's super simple. I know I'm making it sound, I'm oversimplifying it. And the reason being is because it is just that simple. I would tell you to go to the new city that you're trying to go to, and then hit the public spots. Go to a club, go to some places, pass out your cards. You know what I'm saying? Do some free stuff. Giving is always the outlet to receiving. And you may not receive directly from the source you're giving, but you'll receive from other sources. Like, for instance, I always tell y'all a story about my humble beginnings. I sold my first track for $25. I practically gave the beat away. Only reason why I made $25 was because he insisted on paying me for it. I would do it for free. Ultimately, I would do it for free. But once he showed me that there was more value in it, which you will know that you'll get the value out of it. I wouldn't get it from him, but I told him, I said, listen, when you let people hear this, don't tell them how much I charge you. Don't tell them how much you pay for this record. So the next person that came and said, hey, man, I heard the beat that you did for my man. How much you charge me? I said, instead of $25, I said $125. And they wiped it off like it was nothing. And was like, okay. I was like, dang. Okay. And I sold them two. So I made $250. Then I kept on working. I told them the same thing. Don't tell nobody how much I charge you. Next person came. I saw how easy he paid $125. I said $250. I did that all the way up till I was charging $1,500 a track for something I would have done for $25 or for free. So when people see that kind of passion that you put into your work, that you're going to shoot regardless. Like the fact that you got a job to back you up when you go to this new city, you're going to shoot regardless. You know what I mean? Now, Red says something I think is really dope. She says, I believe that 100%. It doesn't always happen right away, but it does always happen. And that's the truth. Like, some of us have, your failure is just a failure until you quit. If you're a failure and you're continuously to fail, you're just having what I like to call delayed success. Meaning your success is out there. You're learning as you're going. Even in the failures you're having, you're changing the formula. So maybe you haven't unlocked the formula to this overwhelming success that you want. The combination is in the failing. Every time you fail, you remove one number, one digit from the lock that you need, from the combination of the lock that you need to get to your breakthrough. Now, how difficult your lock is going to depend on your knowledge of what you're doing, the creativity of how you use that knowledge, and how you put things in place to be a success. Those are the things that are going to make a difference in how quickly you unlock your success. You can't be afraid of the topic of today's conversation. You can't be afraid to change. You must know there will be some pain points when you change. You work out, right?
Yes.
So when you work out, when you work out, do you feel pain like the day after and maybe 2 days after? Or do you ever feel pain?
I am pain. I mean,
Stupid.
sometimes I guess it's like sometimes I'm sore after, sometimes I'm not. It just really depends, I guess.
Okay. So I'm only saying that because most people think they're going to work out and not have what I describe as growing pains. For instance, anytime I work out on my back, and I could have went through the initial pain, the muscle growth pain, but once you get past that, everything kind of, you're in a mode where those same muscles don't hurt the same anymore, but you may start a new exercise and introduce a new way of doing something that triggers another pain point, right? But what you'll find is as your body is adjusting, as your chest is getting wider or your back is getting wider or things like that are happening, you're going to experience pain points, meaning these new aches that are developments based off of your progress. New developments that are based off your progress. Because people think that as you progress, things are supposed to get better. Some things do. You may get stronger, but it's going to come with the cost of your body changing, and you have to break through that change. I know somebody, so I used to do this. I used to work out, and I used to feel my back would feel like it was separating, and then I would stop. I would stop doing whatever I was doing, not realizing that this was my body expanding. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your bones have to shift. Your muscles do things. The tighter they are, they pull your body a certain kind of way. That's what gives us our physique. But there's pain in it sometimes in terms of the growing pain. Whatever the shift is, your body isn't used to that shift. So it's going over the process. It's redeveloping what's there. And in that, there are going to be some pain points that you're going to have to go through. So when you move, you're going to have to go through some developmental stages because you're in a new environment. You're introducing yourself to something that it wasn't there prior. Now, the foundation of it may be the same, but you're in a different space and place. For instance, when she went to Chicago, she needed a bigger jacket than what she would wear if she was in Atlanta or in Hawaii or in Puerto Rico or in the Bahamas. So we make those adjustments so that we can have the success and breakthrough that we want. So I would tell you to do the same thing. When you are moving to this new place, always keep your frequency on expecting the best things to happen. And if your frequencies are way up here, even when they don't go your way, they shouldn't drop much. Even and as long as you cover the bases, meaning have all your equipment and all those things insured, have everything. So even if somebody stole your equipment, that you come out of that better than you went into it. Yeah, it'd be disparaging to lose your equipment. But if you got insurance, you like, now I upgrade it. Now I'm going to be better off. So cover yourself in that way, but also live life with reckless abandonment, chasing your dreams. Never let fear stop you from doing something, especially if it's not going to be harmful to your body. If it's not something that, like, would you jump out of an airplane?
Probably not, but my mom has.
Really? So what you're saying, it's in your genes, it's in the bloodline, the fearlessness?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not jumping out of a perfectly good working plane. That's always been my motto. But then again, there are times where I say, you know what? Why not? So I am from the school of why not versus the school of why. And so I will always promote, as long as you've done the research, as long as you've calculated things out and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a complete danger to your health, and that is something that is practiced and people have done it professionally, I would say go for it. And when it comes to transitioning for your career and the livelihood and and this also dives into how you want to feel about yourself. If you want to please yourself and make yourself feel better, then I would tell you, go take the leap, man. There's nothing out there but the opportunity. Letitia, what did she say? Oh my God, yes, I could barely sit on the toilet when I started. I would just hold it long as possible. I don't know what part of the conversation that is alluding to in terms of relief, Letitia, but okay. I'm almost sure she's talking about the apple cider vinegar drink, which I'm about to drink because I know some of y'all have been waiting to drink it or may have already drank yours. Cheers to y'all. I'm gonna get you up on this so you can, you're gonna love this when you have it. Cheers to everybody. I'm gonna take mine to the head right now.
See, I started my morning with some aloe water. I don't think it's good to chug that, sir. It's just going to go right through you.
You hear what she said? Say it again in the mic.
I don't think that's good to chug. I think it's just going to go right through you.
Say it one more time for my audience.
Slow down.
So did y'all hear? But what was the result of it? You said, I don't think you should do it. What was the result?
It's not processing in your body like it should. That's why they say don't drink water fast, because it just goes right through you and then you got to pee right away. And your body didn't absorb what it needed to get out of it.
Okay, so I'll break it down for her real quick. Good morning, Spooky. What up, Miss Michelle? No, you're not supposed to sip it, Miss Michelle. You are supposed to drink this particular drink straight down because the apple cider vinegar is more effective in its wholeness when it creates this reservoir in your stomach for it to be active. And that is the reason why it promotes a bowel movement within the first hour and a half, which is what you want to do to start your engine.
So you're saying I need to leave within the next hour?
You ain't got to worry about me. Listen, but that's what it does. It promotes, it like I'm gonna start lightweight sweating in a minute because it started my engine. That's the first thing I had this morning. And yeah, Ms. Michelle, do not sip on it. I've always told y'all to take that straight to the head. And when you drink it all the way down, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna break you out. You're gonna feel something, and then ultimately, it's going to clean off what it does is the lining of your intestines that may be built up with food that didn't get all the way digested. It gets pushed all the way through and out, and also whatever you've been storing, and then that stored fat that you have broke down overnight also comes out. So you want to make sure that you create a reservoir for all that activity to happen. When you sip it, it doesn't have an opportunity to operate that way. And so you want to make sure that you do that. So imagine, and then most of y'all feel it. Most of y'all, when y'all drink it, y'all feel just, you end up burping or farting, and it's making its way so that it can kind of come, to come out or whatever. That's hard to do like you do. I've been drinking it for a week. Okay, I do feel the heat. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? And listen, I don't know if you're adding, if you're putting all the ingredients in it, it should taste like a nice, cool drink. You know what I'm saying? And when you take it, you're gonna feel it, like you feel euphoric. Like right now, I feel great because I feel it kicking in. Excuse me. And I told you you're gonna start burping or whatever because your body is now creating space for it to, to make everything else happen. After you get all the air out of your stomach, the next thing that happens is the solids. So you want to get to that place where your digestive tract is kicked in, and then after your digestive tract, you take your first meal. Okay, she said when I'm talking about body making changes when I started the gym. Okay, yeah, absolutely. When you start changing, your body is going to initiate these processes that you want to have happen rather quickly or whatnot. And with this drink, it really activates your body in such a way that, like I said, in order for you to get to a place where you're living in where you're ebbing and flowing on your fasting, when you're ebbing and flowing on your fasting, you get to a place where it starts burning the stored fat. Remember, that's what you're trying to get rid of, is stored fat, not the other fat, like the I just ate and the food you're digesting and that. You want to get rid of that stored fat that's been sitting on your body for years. And the only way to get to that is to get your body to choose to use that versus what you just got through eating. And in order to do that, you have to have a clean stomach. So after you drink your drink on a fast, after your fast from the night, it's going to break down everything, and then you can have your first meal. After you have your first meal, you'll but you're fasting anyway. Most people don't realize, like, when you go to sleep at night, you're fasting, right?
No, I eat in my sleep, so I don't know what you talk about.
You eat in your sleep? Dream eater?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to cut that out. You're getting bigger every time you sleep and drink. So as you sleep, your body has two choices. It can either digest food that you ate late at night.
Gotta get my calories in somehow, man.
And that's good for people who want to if they want to develop their bodies a little bigger or anything like that. That's good for people who want to gain weight. But if you want to lose weight, you want to have eaten your last meal at around 6 or 7, so you have 2 to 3 hours worth of sleep, and 2 or 3 hours worth of digestion of whatever's in there, and then go and hopefully have a poop or something before you go to bed, and then you go to sleep on a fasted stomach, meaning there's nothing for your body to digest except for what is stored. And once it starts working on that store, you'll see it when you wake up. And this will be a huge component. And you want to give yourself 6 to 8 hours worth of sleep. 6 at the minimum, 8 at the maximum. Most people don't need or require that much sleep. It just depends on how well you've treated your body the night before. Meaning, if you ate really late, your body needs 8 hours to process all the stuff that you did to it. If you eat pretty clean, 6 hours will be well, you'll be refreshed. You won't feel bogged down or anything like that. When you wake up first thing in the morning, just go straight and get your drink, take it to the head, and let the processes start happening. Don't brush your teeth. Don't do any of that. It tastes nasty when you brush your teeth and that, whatever. But when you get done with it, now for a lot of y'all, I'll tell y'all, just time yourselves. Like time, so you have a real gauge. Just time how long it takes before you have your first bowel movement. And then when you have that bowel movement, then enter in new food. And that should be the cycle that you're on. You should not enter new foods except for maybe a snack between bowel movements. So if you eat 2 big meals a day, you should at least have 2 big poops, period. And some of your systems are going to be so in tune that you'll even eat a medium-sized snack or a small snack, and your body will want to expel that as well. So keep that in mind, you know what I mean? That these are the processes that you're trying to develop to get your body to stay on an empty stomach long enough for it to start using the stored fat. A lot of people work out. So I don't go to I will not go to a gym unless I've had a bowel movement. Like I gotta have a bowel movement and then be clean and then I go. What about you?
Well, I'm really big on a schedule, so I go to sleep at 12 every night. I get up at 8 every morning. I poop within the first half hour that I get up every day, no matter what I eat, nothing. Then I go to the gym at 9 every day. Dope.
So we kind of threw her schedule off. We're going to adjust her schedule a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I did hear her alarm go off at 10 o'clock, which means we've been live today we've been live for an hour and a half. We're going to try to get, our schedules popping at 8 o'clock so that we have, our 8 to 10. We give y'all 2 hours of conversation to change your situation. But today, as of right now, is 4 minutes after the 10 o'clock hour, Thursday, November 3rd. It is 57 degrees, on its way to 73 degrees here in Atlanta. Hopefully the weather is nice where you're at. If not, make the best of it for whatever situation you're in. Remember that some cities and states don't get all of the seasons, so hopefully you will cherish the fact that you do get them and that you can kind of experience the adversities that those present, so that you can have a well-rounded experience in your livelihood when it comes to weather and how you approach it in your situation. Anything you want to say to the audience today? Anybody, anything you want to say?
You better let go and let life, because that's the one thing I love to say. So y'all need to, keep that in mind. It was great getting to talk to you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So based off her schedule, you know what I'm saying, you may see her a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, it just depends, you know how folks be, you know what I'm saying. She got to change her schedule just a little bit so she poop a little bit early before she leave the house to come through it. I don't know if she did today. She might be backed up a little bit. I don't know.
Well, see, I had some Chipotle yesterday.
Oh my gosh. It's going down. Beans in that Chipotle meat, forget about it. And some guac. All right, man. Y'all know what it is. Listen, I'll leave y'all with this. Welcome to my live. It's your host with the most like butter on your breakfast toast. Scrap with the rap on what's rocking on TikTok Live. Gifts are... Look at that. Did you see what they said? It was nice having you here.
Yeah, that's why I did that.
We'll see. We're going to figure it out, man. It was a pleasure having her here, and hopefully her schedule will permit her to hang out with us a little bit more. It opens up the conversation that'll change your situation. But remember, we try to always give you a bite to eat, make sure that it's filling, that it's tasty. We know it's going to be hard. Some things may be hard to swallow, but nonetheless, you should leave here full. I appreciate that, man. I love it. I again, you guys, I told you I'm trying to just expand our network, expand our conversation, bring some new faces into the place. Letitia said, yes, I'm down like 21 to 22 pounds.
Welcome
And when she said, sad part, I literally walk 2 miles a day, sometimes more if time permits, but it just fell off like crazy, and my coworkers had started this drink as well. So she's done exactly what I want y'all all to do. Make sure y'all are communicating with your friends and family in your community, so that they can get themselves at least start changing the narrative on how their body is. Let's give Letitia a round of applause. That's super duper dope. I always love hearing amazing news like that. And that's a great way for us to end our show today. This is never goodbye. This is always to be continued. All right. That may be possible. Alpha said we should set up a meet and greet in 2023. That always sounds really, really dope. Hey, Angela, we may very well do that. At this point, no one can tell me anything negative on this drink. Go ahead, Letitia. That's what I'm talking about. When you get results, it is hard for people to challenge your conversation about it. But I love all the reviews that we're getting from everybody in the comments saying this was amazing, that they enjoyed this. Yeah, you kind of missed it a little bit, Angela. But the playback is always available on YouTube. You guys can go over to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Dwight_Scrap_Reynolds. And you can watch this episode. And we were talking about change. And you guys can check it up, especially after you're getting used to drinking. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, y'all. It's never goodbye. It's to be continued. We're out.
Have a good day, guys.
All right, you want to stop those lives up there?